Good Wednesday morning. I'm First Alert Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert. Yes, today is a First Alert weather day. We are seeing snow this morning in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel in Toppenish. It looks like there's at least a dusting to an inch of snow on the ground here. I've been looking at some of those washdot cameras in Yakima. It looks similar, and this person doing the right thing, just taking it very slow out on the roadways for this morning. Okay, so snow up in the Cascades, the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're seeing a wintry mix or freezing rain at the very least for the lower Columbia Basin and Blue Foothills, and then more snow up into the Blue Mountains. And the temperatures this morning going to bear a lot of relevance as we're right around freezing in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, right around freezing in the lower Columbia Basin. The same thing with the Blue Foothills, a little bit below freezing up in the mountains. But this is a very difficult forecast just because we're right on that freezing threshold. But just know the roadways could be a little bit slick or slippery or snowed over for this morning, kind of depending on where you live. Visibility also a concern, another good reason to take it slow out there. A little bit later today, temperatures up into the 30s and 40s, rain and snow likely throughout the day, and it is a First Alert weather day, but not for the valleys, for the Blues until 10 in the morning on Thursday. So we could have 10 inches of snow for Oregon 204. Then we have another storm system for this weekend. I'll tell you about that one coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, many people across the country are feeling the impact from the federal employee cuts, but it's also affecting us here locally. We have exactly who's affected and how they're responding. Also ahead in this hour, some people went to local driver's license offices yesterday trying to start the process of getting a real ID before that approaching deadline, but they walked out without one. We have what happened and how you can get your hands on a real ID. Plus the latest on the Delta plane crash that took place at the Toronto Pearson Airport in Canada. We have the latest developments, and it's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Wednesday, February 19th. Jade Elliott has the morning off, but we want to get right into your top stories. And we're starting off by talking about the federal employee cuts that have hit much of the country. Now, many people across the country are feeling the impact of the Department of Government Efficiency, which is also known as DOGE. And some of those impacted are right here in the Tri-Cities. And our very own Dan Hansen has who exactly this affects locally and how they're responding.
The assault that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are waging on federal workers is staggering and unprecedented.
Those are the words of Senator Patty Murray describing the impact of the Trump administration's Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, on federal workers both nationwide and in Washington state. In a statement, Murray said, "In Washington state alone, more than a dozen employees at the Hanford site and more than 600 at the Bonneville Power Administration have been laid off, which will have cascading ripple effects on the cleanup efforts at the Hanford site and the security of the Pacific Northwest energy grid. Notably, these numbers do not include employees who opted into the deferred resignation program." The layoffs come as DOGE, led by tech billionaire Elon Musk, implements its new policies. In a recent appearance at the White House, Musk defended DOGE's work.
What meaning does democracy actually have if the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House? Then we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy.
On President's Day, protesters gathered at John Dam Plaza to express their frustrations with the Trump administration.
We see this administration coming in and acting unlawfully in a whole variety of different ways, mass firings of people who should have their jobs protected, and unaccountable people having direct access to the Treasury, and a whole variety of other issues like that. And we think that's not, we're supposed to be a country who's run by the rule of law, and that doesn't seem to be being respected here.
Apple Valley News reached out to the Tri-Cities Airport to see how these federal layoffs might affect TSA operations. Airport Director Buck Taft confirmed that TSA agents there are safe. We also contacted the Department of Energy's Hanford office to determine exactly how many employees were laid off, but have not yet received a response. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Dan. Now, other federal workers impacted are those who work at PNNL, and our team reached out to them for a comment, and they replied that all questions about the layoffs need to be directed to the Department of Energy. Also, Senator Murray will lead a press call with former federal workers on the mass layoffs this afternoon, and we'll keep you updated on what comes out of that. Now, more than 100 people gathered in Yakima to take their first steps in what was a year-long process, and that's updating Yakima County's 5-year plan on addressing homelessness. Now, this plan governs who gets funding and what projects get priority. And this doesn't just consist of shelters for people to get off the streets, but also rental assistance programs to prevent people from becoming homeless. Additionally, there are wraparound services to support their mental and physical health, as well as pathways for permanent housing.
We spend about $7 million a year in the homeless response system locally. 72% of those dollars come directly from the state, and as a result of that, they have to be spent in ways that are identified in our 5-year plan.
Now, at the next strategy session in May, the group will be looking over community feedback and data, and this will help delegate the plan down into clear, attainable goals. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we have the latest developments on the plane crash at the Toronto Pearson Airport. That story and more is coming up in your national news. And it is a First Alert weather day, and our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will have what you can expect for today when we come back, and that's in just a few minutes.
I've always had an eye for opportunity. As a kid, I was hustling, selling candy, mowing lawns, you name it. That drive never left me. The first time I tasted crumble, it was clear to me this was more than just a cookie. From that moment, I knew this was a chance to bring the taste of something new to our neighborhood. But I couldn't do it alone. That's where Hapo came in. With their support, I was able to secure the loan that brought Crumble to our community. Where do you credit union?
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
Throw away your distance and reading glasses. Join Doctors Kopstein and King for a free live webinar February 27th and find out if RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
This President's Day, McCurley Subaru of Yakima invites you to discover the vehicle that's the perfect fit for your drive during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Lease a 2025 Subaru Forester today for only $239 a month. There's never been a better time to find a vehicle that fits your budget. President's Day and Subaru A Lot to Love event. It's what you've been waiting for, but it all ends this month. McCurley Subaru of Yakima. It's always your way home.
Tough loss, Coach. Any words?
They just played a much better game.
Did you say munch?
Sounds like someone's craving my new crispy boneless wings.
Jack, what did you think of today's loss?
Embarrassing. Try my new crispy boneless wings and so much more.
Welcome to Talk in the Box. At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track pass conditions for this morning, and so you see here at Snoqualmie Pass, Interstate 90, we are seeing snowy and slushy conditions. Traction tires are required, and we'll take it down to US Highway 12 at White Pass. I'm also looking at the WashDOT camera, or excuse me, I'm looking at the WashDOT website simultaneously here because I want to get the latest pass conditions. But it also looks like these have not updated since the since the 5 o'clock hour. So we're also seeing packed snow, but traction tires required here for US Highway 12 at White Pass. Then we will take it down into the blues, where so far we're not seeing the toughest pass conditions due to snowfall yet, at least, but ODOT has gone out of their way to talk about how visibility is less than 500 feet for this little stretch of I-84. So another good reason to take it slow on the roadways for this morning. Here's your day planner for lower elevations. We'll have the chance of snow in the Kittitas Valley through lunchtime. Looks like that transition back to rain is going to happen a little bit sooner than that in the Yakima Valley, and that it's mostly going to be rain today for the basin and for the foothills, although periods of freezing rain are possible early this morning. So for today, rain and snow likely. We'll have temperatures up into the 30s and 40s, breezy and windy for higher elevations. And then for tonight, some of those breezes starting to spill down into lower elevations. Snow still likely up in the mountains for tonight, much drier for lower elevations. We do have that winter weather advisory that is in place, and you can read more about that by downloading the First Alert Weather app for free on the App Store or on Google Play. And another storm system for this weekend that we're tracking. We'll tell you about that one coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Turning to your national headlines this morning, investigators are analyzing new images of the Delta plane crash in Toronto, searching for clues as to what caused the jet to flip upside down and then burst into flames. Luckily, all 80 people on board the plane survived, but new video shows that passengers were left suspended by their seatbelts. Flight attendants standing on the ceiling helped get everybody out, and officials say at the time of landing, winds were gusting up to 40 miles per hour. Also, we're learning that the plane's black boxes have been recovered, and 19 of the 21 passengers injured have been released from the hospital. Around the world now, the Trump administration's Russia-Ukraine envoy is in Kyiv, and Keith Kellogg is expected to meet Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. And ahead of that meeting, Kellogg reiterated the long-standing U.S. policy of keeping Ukraine independent. The visit comes a day after remarkable talks in Saudi Arabia involving Secretary of State Marco Rubio. He met with Russian officials and said all sides will have to make concessions, and notably missing from that meeting were any representatives from Ukraine. Also yesterday, President Donald Trump said Ukraine started the conflict, and that's in stark contrast to the Biden administration's unwavering support of Ukraine in its battle with Russia. This began when Russian forces invaded the country about 3 years ago. And when we come back, our chief meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have that full weather forecast. He'll let you know what you can expect for the week and the day, and all those details are coming up in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
The best deals of the year are going on now at Overturf Kia. Check out the sporty, fuel-efficient, and fun-to-drive Kia K4 with a show-stopping silhouette. A new 2025 Kia K4 LXS starts at just $23,459. Plus, get 3.99% interest for 60 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge on Columbia Drive in Kennewick.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down.
We were starting a business from the ground up.
People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
After 2 weeks off,
The Kraken return to the ice. From the pine trees to the palm trees. A clash with the defending Stanley Cup champs is on tap. Kraken, Panthers. Pre-game at 2:30. Saturday on MeTV.
Next live, Broadway's Titus Burgess, journalist Lindsay Davis, and...
All right, now listen. This is the big news around here.
Massive.
We're counting down to lives after the Oscar show.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Yakima Federal Savings and Loan.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have multiple school closures, or not school closures, let me rephrase. We have some school delays in the Yakima Valley for this morning. We're posting that to the website right now. We'll keep you up to date, and Jessica's going to have more to say about that in a little bit as well. But snow in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. We have a wintry mix in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills, or freezing rain at the very least. Then, of course, more snow up in the Cascades and in the Blues. So let's go ahead and let's step you through today, as snow is likely this morning in the Cascades, Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, and Blues. A wintry mix and freezing rain are possible in the lower Columbia Basin and Blue Foothills, but mostly before 8 a.m. Snow will transition back to rain in the valleys in between 12 to 2 p.m. and lower elevations in general should trend much drier after lunchtime. However, snow will stay likely throughout the day in the Cascades and Blues with persistent rain chances in the Blue Foothills. Then for tonight, snow will stay likely throughout the night in the Cascades and Blues. The Blue Foothills will also hold on to a decent chance of cold rain showers, but the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, and lower Columbia Basin will be much drier. However, we can't rule out periods of freezing rain in the Kittitas Valley or lower Columbia Basin. And then for Thursday, small snow chances will linger through much of the day for the Cascades and Blues, but lower elevations should be mostly dry, and we can't rule out a few showers before 10 a.m. in the lower Columbia Basin or Blue Foothills, but that is a low-end chance and will be mostly dry for Thursday night. So here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting from this morning through 4 in the morning on Friday. 3 to 4 inches for our Cascade passes, maybe a little bit more than this now in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, just given the way it's panning out for this morning. But we're still thinking not much for the basin, not much for the foothills, and the biggest impacts will continue to be for Oregon 204 at Tollgate and Spout Springs. Winds also a big factor for today from 11 this morning through 10 p.m. 10 p.m. for this evening. Winds gusting upwards of maybe 40 to 50 miles per hour in the Cascades and Blues. Will be drier like you saw as we head into Thursday and Friday, but another storm system we're tracking for Saturday through Monday. This could also bring us some big time impacts, but not in the form of snow, this time in the form of rainfall. Snow levels are going to be up around 5,000 to 7,000 feet, so we could have rain falling on top of existing snowpack. That's going to pose a risk for some localized flooding in the mountains, but especially up in the Cascades, where we could have 3.5 inches of liquid water, again, falling on top of existing snowpack. And the reason why snow level is getting so high, because temperature is getting so high, right around 60 degrees in a Sunday and Monday, about 10 degrees above average, as opposed to today, in which will be 10 degrees below average. So a nice little taste of spring ahead. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Wet today with freezing rain possible this morning. Dry for Thursday and Friday, then wetter and much warmer by this weekend. In Yakima, a rain-snow mix likely today. Dry for Thursday, a small shower chance on Friday. Then the action ramps up again by Saturday. In Ellensburg, rain and snow likely today. A break for Thursday, mostly dry on Friday as well. Then milder and wetter this weekend. In Hermiston, wet today with freezing rain possible, drier and warmer to end the work week, then wetter and even warmer by Saturday through Monday. Then in Walla Walla, rain likely today with freezing rain possible this morning, maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning, but then back into the swing of things by this weekend. Now you're taking another live look at the snow in Toppenish. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Thanks for waking up and watching Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Jax, what are you thinking? Grandpa told me to mark down the prices. Hartley, what are you doing?
Grandpa told me to test out the beds.
My brother and sister are crazy, but so is my grandpa. I love coming to our family furniture store at Meredith Furniture because I get to take naps on all of the Beauty Rest beds. But the main reason most of you guys come into Meredith Furniture is for all the great prices on Beauty Rest mattresses. Meredith Furniture on South First and Washington, right next to Hobby Lobby.
Prosser Memorial Health has moved. All hospital services, including the family birthplace and emergency department, are now in our brand new state-of-the-art facility located at 200 Prosser Health Drive. After 78 years serving this amazing community, we're excited to provide care in a hospital designed with you in mind. Prosser Memorial Health Hospital has moved to 200 Prosser Health Drive. Visit prosserhealth.org to learn more. This is how we care.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through March 31st, receive rebates up to $1,300 off, plus a free thermostat on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
I met a cute poodle outside. She said everyone's talking about you and how you work for free.
When you're injured and have the heavy hitter on your team, we win or it's free. Hello? That cute poodle you were talking to wants to have a play date.
Let's go.
Call 853-2222.
This newscast sponsored by Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news this morning, it appears Nike is in a bit of a slump as sales are down, and that means stock value is also down. So what does Nike do to help combat these declining sales? Well, they partner up with Kim Kardashian, of course.
Of course. The two brands are partnering up on a new Nike brand, or excuse me, on a new brand called Nike Skims. The collection is based on her popular shapewear line and will focus on female athletes. The move is a first for Nike, which hasn't partnered with an outside company before to create a new brand. It usually relies on acquisitions or apparel endorsements with popular athletes like Michael Jordan and the Jumpman brand.
And the new brand will help Nike in the activewear category as it looks to compete against companies like Lululemon. And the brand will roll out in the U.S. this spring online and also at select retail locations. And a global launch is planned in 2026. And now new information regarding the ongoing It Ends With Us movie drama. It never ends, does it? Well, actress Blake Lively has filed an amended complaint to her claim against director and co-star Justin Baldoni.
This is the Lively team's response to the Baldoni team's amended countersuit, which he filed back on January 31st. Lively is suing Baldoni for sexual harassment and conducting a smear campaign against her. And Baldoni is suing Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, as well as the New York Times for defamation and false accusations.
And Lively's amended complaint was originally due on the 14th, but she had requested an extension from the judge asking for extra time. And after asking for this extension, Baldoni's team sent a letter to the judge asking for time to reply to this amended complaint.
Earlier this month, Baldoni's team created a website for the public with links to his amended complaint as well as a timeline of the events. Their trial is set for March of 2026.
And it'll be widely viewed, kind of like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Just part two.
Yeah. So now to an update on the trial of A$AP Rocky. The rapper was found not guilty yesterday, and this over 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
The case stemmed from a 2021 incident between the hip-hop artist and a former friend. A$AP Rocky, whose legal name is Rakeem Myers, had argued that the weapon was a prop gun and only fired blanks. He claimed his former friend, known as A$AP Relly, was using the lawsuit to get money. And
in the video on your screen, you just saw it, but it's the moment the verdict is delivered and you see him run to his supporters and partner Rihanna, who he shares 2 young sons with. And A$AP Rocky expressed his appreciation to the jury after the verdict was read.
When speaking to the crowd outside the courtroom, A$AP Rocky said all the praise was due to God.
And I'll say amen to that, and hopefully amen to Rihanna making more music one day.
Let's not hold
Venti
that
music,
breath.
please. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, one person visited the local driver's licensing office yesterday trying to get their hands on a real ID, but they walked out without one. And we have why and what you need to know about getting a real ID, and that's coming up in your next half hour. And Josh, any hints on that 3-degree guarantee?
Yeah, the jackpot went up, but also snow totals going up this morning in the Yakima Valley. So we have school closures and also a new chain requirement for State Route 821 at Yakima River Canyon. Chains required for all vehicles except all-wheel drive. So we'll have more snow updates coming up on the other side of the break.
This tax season, you can relax. There's no tax. Walker's Furniture is covering the sales tax for you. For a limited time, we're doubling down on discounts. It's the perfect time to refresh your space and save big, so you can get the tax break you need and a deal you'll love. Plus, with no money down special financing, you can create the home of your dreams now and pay over time. This week at Walker's, where quality just costs less.
Hi, I'm renovation expert Scott McGilvery. I know bath remodeling and I've seen all the gimmicks. Buy now, half off, free installation. This is why I work with Bathfitter. With 40 years of experience and 2 million installs, I trust their integrity. Bathfitter gives you a fair price and sticks to it with a lifetime warranty. You don't need gimmicks, just a partner you can trust. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Get 3.9% APR on a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq. Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
President's Day. No lights or carols, no fireworks, boat races or barbecues. Not very exciting. Until now, because this President's Day is your chance to drive home in the Mazda you've been waiting for. So stop by McCurley Mazda in the Pasco Autoplex and make it more than just another Monday. Get a vehicle you'll love at the McCurley Mazda President's Day sales event.
Good Shepherd is expanding its cardiology services to the region with the addition of Dr. Courtney Virgilio. Dr. Virgilio's specialty is caring for patients with all types of heart disease. She's passionate about cardiology because it's both challenging and rewarding to help someone who may be on death's door. And by providing state-of-the-art care close to home, she can help them not only survive their cardiac event, but also help them optimize their longevity and quality of life. Good Shepherd Healthcare System. Patients first. Always.
Welcome to the Nissan Now sales event. Get President's Day savings on the all-new Kicks, the sporty Sentra, or our best-selling Rogue, a consumer guide Best Buy 11 years in a row.
So, when's the next adventure?
I think I just found it.
For the #1 shopping experience according to J.D. Power, get to Nissan now. Now get up to $2,500 total savings on Rogue, or get a low $229 per month lease on Sentra.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert. Jade has the morning off.
Yes, she does. And before we get into your 3-degree guarantee and see what that jackpot went up to or didn't go up to, we do want to mention some school closures to tell you about in the Yakima Valley. So East Valley School District is on a 2-hour delay. Also West Chestnut Academy and Union Gap, Natchez, West Valley, Sela, all on 2-hour delays. And we do have these posted up on our website if you want to check that as well.
Definitely, yeah, we're going to be keeping that updated, and I will be, well, maybe I'll be updating these numbers a little bit later in the day as the jackpot. Well, yesterday, my forecast hit, so the jackpot did go up. It's now up to $175, and so the stakes for today are, well, I'm going with forecast high, Again, a 40 degrees in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if the actual high verifies between 37 and 43, the jackpot's going to go up to $200. But if my forecast goes bust, all $175 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that is on your screen. Now what's on your screen is, I'd say, at least an inch of snow on the ground in Toppenish. We're seeing a lot of scenes like this up and down the Kittitas and Yakima valleys for this morning, as there's snow in the Cascades, in the valleys, probably just a wintry mix or freezing rain at the very least in the lower Columbia Basin, the Blue Foothills, and snow up in the Blues as well. And so temperatures obviously bear a lot of relevance for this morning, because where we're sitting at around 32 degrees, that's where the snow is going to have more of the tendency to stick to the surface. We're also right around that threshold in the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills. So this is a tricky forecast, but so far we are seeing some impacts from the wintry weather. Also visibility not too hot on top of that, right? Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. Me personally, I would go with the umbrella all throughout the day, but specifically before lunchtime. After that, trending a little bit drier. So for today, temperatures up into the 30s and 40s. Rain and snow likely throughout the day, especially up in the mountains. And we do have a first alert weather day until 10 in the morning for tomorrow morning for the Blue Mountains, as we can have upwards of 10 inches of new snow for Oregon 204. Very dangerous commute that way. I'll take you on that zone by zone tour of the snow forecast over the next 48 hours, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off this half hour in fire news, the Walla Walla Fire Department responded to a fire at the Eastgate Seventh-day Adventist Church on Monday, and this fire happened just before 10 p.m. at 380 North Taussig Way. Initially, Walla Walla police responded to it, but after getting a call that there was an alarm coming from the church. However, when officers got there, they saw that flames were coming from the back of the church, and then firefighters were able to get there and keep it contained to one room. According to investigators, the fire was caused by a spontaneous combustion from rags that were saturated in linseed oil. Also at this time, they believe this fire was an accident. And now to Umatilla, where crews dealt with a challenging fire. East Umatilla Fire and Rescue were called to a home off of Highway 204 and Geiger Lane, and they found the home as well as a shop up in flames. Crews say a live electrical line arcing and a metal roof made for a more difficult situation. Firefighters were able to put it out with help from the Umatilla Tribal Fire Department. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the Red Cross is working with the 3 people who no longer have a home, and there's no word yet on what exactly started the fire. Now to continuing coverage on the Washington Real ID Act. So standard Washington state driver's licenses will soon not be enough for domestic flights. And on May 7th, you must have a Real ID to get through TSA. According to the Washington State Department of Licensing, this is a federal law that they're trying to prepare Washingtonians for. They say now is a good time to look at all your ID options and see which format best fits you. In the state of Washington, one form of a Real ID is an enhanced license, but there are other options that constitute as a Real ID.
A U.S. foreign passport, a U.S. passport card, a military ID, a tribal ID, a green card.
Now, if you're looking to get that enhanced driver's license, you do have to go in person, and you don't have to wait for your current ID to expire. You can go now. And speaking of getting your hands on one, local license offices should be back up and running properly today, and this comes after offices had trouble with operations yesterday. So the Department of Licensing recently had a statewide system update, and this caused their system to shut down for a few days. Yesterday, our team spoke with a woman who says this wasn't her first time trying to get a new license, but she walked out without the new one, and this is because of their system troubles. Our team translated what she had said from Spanish to English.
It's a problem because for people who need to travel due to an emergency right now, they won't be able to fly out because then to come back, they won't be able to return.
And they do still recommend scheduling an appointment to avoid those long lines. And again, they say their systems are expected to be back up and running today. And speaking of flights, a budget-friendly travel option is returning to the Spokane International Airport. So Frontier Airlines will be back launching a direct flight to Denver beginning May 20th. And this flight will run 3 days a week with an intro fare of $29. And Frontier was last at Spokane Airport back in September of 2021. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, she has a funny name, but such a great backstory. And will you be the next chapter? Up next is our Operation Best Friend segment, and we get to meet this cutie and learn more about her. But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Culbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. He'll let you know what you can expect for today.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Ever feel like something's missing? Like there's a hole in your morning routine? Well, we've got just the thing. At Some Bagels, we make more than fresh bagels. We make a variety of baked goods to fill your day with everything you've been missing. Have your favorite coffee drink with our in-house roasted espresso beans. And enjoy your bagel with our flavored cream cheeses. Because at Some Bagels, the only thing better than the hole in the middle is everything around it. I want some, you want some, we want some, gimme Some Bagels.
Hey Raptors, we want to rent these 2 chairs for the winter. We're kind of out on being cold this year.
Glad you dig it here, but this really isn't a vacation rental sort of place.
We hear ya, but what if we put on Raptor suits and then suddenly there are 4 of us?
Yeah, we'll be your nieces, Layla and Kinley.
I'm Kinley, the Raptor, and I love burgers.
I love it!
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Not so sure we're gonna pull this off.
I just turned 37 and I found a lump. By the time that I had it checked out and was able to get in and see a doctor and all that, I was at stage 3. Part of the reason I think that I didn't go get it checked out right away is that I was really scared. When I got the call, it was gone. It was such a huge relief. Even if you don't feel that it's in you, that you have a lump or you have a reason to get checked, you are a woman, get checked.
If it was my family, I'd want to make sure they get all the information they need to make the best decision. That's why we fully inspect our vehicles and certify everything. With McCurley Certified and Certified Plus, we look at everything from the tires to the maintenance records to recalls to any open campaigns. We make sure the vehicle is completely safe. The only vehicles we sell are ones that are completely inspected. McCurley Certified means your vehicle meets a higher standard.
Find your way home in a Subaru Certified Pre-Owned vehicle from McCurley Subaru.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office on Thursday, March 20th at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
Weeknights.
Good evening, everybody.
Apple Valley News Now at 5, followed by ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. Then Apple Valley News Now at 6 and 6:30.
New at 6 tonight.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, and Stacey Lee Weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side.
Monday, March 3rd, we turn Hollywood's biggest night into a morning you'll never forget. Live from the Oscar stage, it's Lives After the Oscars show in Hollywood.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Here's your ski report brought to you by Schweitzer Village. And I'm gonna hand wave some of these new snowfall totals because these are usually reported around 4 p.m., 5 p.m., so not necessarily accurate for this morning. I just more so want to focus in on the base depth, closer to 50 now for Schweitzer, but look at what it is for Ski Bluewood. We're closer to 80, 76 inches technically, and this number is definitely going to go up. And this number at White Pass also going to go up. 64 inches is the base depth for now, but this is going to be closer to 70, 75 by the time we're all said and done with this wave of snow. Speaking of that, here's some of the snowfall totals we're expecting. We'll take you on a little zone-by-zone tour over the next 48 hours. We're thinking 3 to 5 inches for some of our biggest Cascade passes, including U.S. Highway 2, Interstate 90, and U.S. Highway 12. Then in the Kittitas Valley, upwards of maybe an inch of snow for Ellensburg and Ridge, probably less than an inch for Vantage. And then in the Yakima Valley, I'm thinking maybe these totals could be a little bit more bullish, just given the snow we've already seen this morning in the Yakima Valley. So we'll say between an inch or two, just kind of amending that on the fly. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, not much doing, although we could maybe get less than an inch up towards Mesa and Connell, some of those more northern stretches of Franklin County. Not much snow doing at all for the Blue Foothills, but in the Blue Mountains, we'll see some subtle impacts for Interstate 84, but definitely some much bigger impacts for Oregon 204 at Tollgate and Spout Springs.
All right, Josh, it is now time for Operation Best Friend, and today we're meeting a dog named Hedgehog.
Aw.
So she's a 6-year-old German Shepherd who has quite the story.
But a great story isn't complete without you bringing Hedgehog her happily ever after, a place that she can call home. All right, now let's meet Hedgehog.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Hi everyone, it's Wednesday. That means it's time for Operation Best Friend. My name is Monica and I'm from Tri-Cities Animal Services. And this week I brought a very special guest named Hedgehog. Hedgehog's a peculiar name, you might ask. There is a story behind her name. Hedgehog is 6 years and 7 months old. She came to us on July 11th of 2024 after she tried to make a snack out of a porcupine. As you can imagine, that didn't go over too well for poor Hedgehog. And when she came to us, 5 of us, including our on-site veterinarian, vet techs, and vet assistants, have worked on her to remove the quills. As soon as Hedgehog was on the mend, we realized that she is a complete people person. She's not a big fan of other animals, we've found, which is kind of what got her into this mess to begin with, which is what brought her to the shelter. She does appear to be quite reactive towards other dogs in and out of her kennel. But like I said, she loves all people. So I imagine somebody out there that has that unicorn home, as we like to call it, that doesn't have any other pets. Hedgehog would be an amazing addition to your family. She doesn't seem to do too much for toys. She's much more interested on going for walks and just following her human wherever they will allow her to go. She rode in my car this morning on the way here. She did fantastic. She was happy to enjoy the ride and the sights along the way. She also knows a few tricks, but she's got probably one of the best sit and stays around. If you're interested in adopting Hedgehog, you just have to stop by anytime during business hours, Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. But if you have other dogs at home and you're interested in adopting a shelter dog, that you do bring them, we can help ensure compatibility before going home. So stop by Tri-Cities Animal Services today to meet your new best furry friend.
Poor baby with the quill stuck in her. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. Oh.
That reminds me of Homeward Bound. Did you ever watch that movie?
Yes, a long time ago.
The porcupine, essentially what happened there.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what a cutie. I don't know, that just kind of makes her more endearing.
Yeah.
She just, was where she shouldn't have been, but she sounds like a great people person.
And just like with the dog last week, you could there's a little baby in those eyes.
Yeah, and their little pictures at the end,
yes.
Their little school photos, I love that. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning, and Josh is back with your full first alert forecast. Any hints, Josh?
Well, there's snow in the Yakima Valley, also more snow in the forecast, but specifically for higher elevations. I'll tell you how much is in the forecast coming up on the other side of the break.
Come discover our hand-picked collections at D-Lynn's Boutique. Whether you're shopping for a cozy weekend getaway or a special night out, D-Lynn's Boutique has everything you need to shine this winter. Visit us in-store or online and let us help you wrap the season in style.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a 24 Bronco Sport 4x4 for just $299 a month for 36 months, plus 2 years free maintenance. Only your local Ford dealer.
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout. and they stay in excellent shape. Every bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Get ready for your chance to win big at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. It's time for the Big Money Wheel, where you can spin for your chance to win big cash. Drawings start every Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. But that's not all. The excitement builds for the Super Spin at 9 p.m., where $30,000 cash is added to the Big Money Wheel. Want even more chances to win? Multiply your entries every Thursday for your shot at becoming one of 4 lucky winners who can spin to win up to $30,000 cash on February 22nd. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Celebrate 3 decades of fun.
Throw away your distance and reading glasses. Join Doctors Kopstein and King for a free live webinar February 27th and find out if RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Time isn't just minutes or hours. It's the moments spent where and with the people who make home feel like home. That's why our newly expanded service department is here and open 7 days a week to get you in, out, and on your way. Any make, any model, same day. Get express service, same day at McCurley Chevrolet.
At Choice Hotels like this Comfort Hotel, you get more for your money so you can maximize any vacation, like starting game day with a free hot breakfast. I got waffles. How about you?
Go Waffles!
Woo! Get double points on all stays when you book direct.
Why is Rich so good? So annoying.
Buttery, salty show-offs. I love them.
Is that a smile?
This is a salty club.
Salty. You're gonna get us kicked out.
So?
That's better.
Loved by everyone, even the saltiest.
This newscast sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel. Fun is how we roll.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We actually have another school closure this morning in the Yakima Valley. This is the Yakima Nation Tribal School, 2 hours late. All employees of the Yakima Nation are on a 2-hour delay. So that one just came in. We're going to recap those school closures, or excuse me, those school delays coming up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. But for this morning, snow in the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys. We're seeing a rain-snow mix in the lower Columbia Basin and Blue Foothills, or freezing rain at the very least, and of course snow up in the Blues and up in the Cascades. Now let's time this all out, and so we're going to go ahead and put this into motion. And for today, again, snow is likely this morning in the Cascades, Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, and Blues. Wintry mix and freezing rain are possible in the lower Columbia Basin and Blue Foothills, but mostly before 8 a.m. Snow will transition back to rain in the valleys between 12 to 2 p.m., and lower elevations in general should trend much drier after lunchtime. However, snow will stay likely throughout the day in the Cascades and Blues, with persistent rain chances in the Blue Foothills. Then for tonight, snow will stay likely throughout the night in the Cascades and Blues. The Blue Foothills will also hold on to a decent chance of cold rain showers, but the Kittitas Valley, Yakima Valley, and lower Columbia Basin will be much drier. However, we can't rule out periods of freezing rain in the Kittitas Valley or lower Columbia Basin. Then for Thursday, small snow chances will linger through much of the day for the Cascades and Blues, but lower elevations should be mostly dry. We can't rule out a few showers before 10 a.m. in the lower Columbia Basin or Blue Foothills, but that is a low-end chance and will be mostly dry for the night on Thursday. So here's some of the snowfall totals we could have from this morning through Friday morning. This is subject to change, but 3 to 4 inches likely for our Cascade passes, maybe a little bit more than an inch at this point for the Kittitas and Yakima Valleys, just given what's already gone down this morning. But not much snow expected still for the lower Columbia Basin or for the Blue Foothills, and maybe another 10 inches of snow for Tollgate there for that stretch of Oregon 204, so more dangerous travel up that way. Also, the wind's going to be a factor for today from 11 this morning to 10 p.m. this evening, as they could gust upwards of 40 to 50 miles per hour in the Cascades and in the Blues. Okay, we'll be drier overall, like you saw, as we head into Thursday and Friday, but then we are tracking another series of storm systems from Saturday through Monday. This one could also provide some big-time impacts, but not from the snow, from the rain, as snow levels are going to be up around 5,000 to 7,000 feet, which means we could see rain and quite a bit of it up in the mountains especially in the Cascades. Could have 3 to 3.5 inches of liquid water falling on top of existing snowpack, so we could see some localized flooding in and around some of those smaller streams up in the Cascades. And the reason why snow level is going to be raising up, it's because high temperatures will be raising up into the low 60s for Sunday and Monday in the Tri-Cities. That'll place us at about 10 degrees above average for this time of the year. A very nice change of pace, especially in comparison to what we went through last week. Here is a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Wet today with freezing rain possible this morning, dry for Thursday and Friday, then wetter and much warmer by this weekend. In Yakima, a rain snow mix likely today, dry for Thursday, a small shower chance on Friday, then the action ramps up again by Saturday. In Ellensburg, rain and snow likely today, a break for Thursday, mostly dry on Friday as well, then milder and wetter this weekend. In Hermiston, wet today with freezing rain possible, drier and warmer to end the work week, then wetter and even warmer by Saturday through Monday. Then for Walla Walla, rain likely today with freezing rain possible this morning, maybe a leftover shower Thursday morning, but then back into the swing of things by this weekend. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Naya Rivera's former husband speaking out nearly 5 years after her tragic drowning. Naya Rivera was a massive presence on the hit Glee, a triple threat dancer, actor, and singer. And for her ex and the son they shared, the vacuum Rivera left behind 5 years after her mysterious drowning is just as massive.
What made you decide to talk about this now?
I had a friend who told me she thought I should write a book. And I said, what am I going to write a book about? And she's like, no, I think you could help people like with bereavement or like dealing with loss.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Dorsey sharing about the moment he learned Rivera disappeared and how their son is doing now. With your GMA First Look, I'm Matt Gutman, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Sonia, Erlene, and Marcia are among the thousands of real women living with metastatic breast cancer doing what they love and taking Ibrance. Ibrance, with an aromatase inhibitor, is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ibrance plus letrozole significantly delayed disease progression versus letrozole alone. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening chest pain, cough, or trouble breathing. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are nursing, pregnant, or plan to be, all medical conditions you have, and about all the medicines you take. For more information about side effects, talk to your doctor. These are real women taking Ibrance. Ask your doctor about Ibrance.
Now, the morning sprint.
When it's time for your morning sprint, we're going to start off with your national headlines. President Donald Trump is detailing new tariffs he says are in the works. This could affect vehicles, pharmaceuticals, and computer chips and be around 25%. Trump says he'll formally unveil them as early as April 2nd, and that's the day after the previously stated deadline for an investigation into reciprocal tariffs. And Trump signed 3 more executive orders yesterday, continuing to make cuts to federal agencies. And the White House says Elon Musk is not in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, and that's according to an official statement from the Trump administration. That was to a federal judge overseeing a case that was filed by Democratic state attorneys general. Washington and Oregon are 2 of the states that filed suit, and when asked who was in charge, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff said the president is in charge and that Musk was appointed and reports to the president. Also, President Trump signed an executive order to expand access to IVF and make it more affordable. Policy recommendations would be developed and then submitted in the next 3 months. And the White House says as many as 1 in 7 couples trying to have a baby are unable to conceive. The administration says the cost ranges from $12,000 to $25,000 per IVF cycle, and that treatment is often not fully covered by health insurance. And now we go to your top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. First up, many people across the country are feeling the impact of cuts from the Department of Government Efficiency, again also known as DOGE, and many of those impacted are right here at the Hanford site in Richland. Washington lawmakers are demanding answers from the Trump administration, and on Monday, protesters gathered at John Dam Plaza to express their frustrations about the layoffs. Apple Valley News Now reached out to Hanford to ask how many employees were laid off, but we have not heard a response yet. And more than 100 people gathered in Yakima County to work on a 5-year plan that'll address the homelessness crisis in the county. And this plan will govern who gets funding and also what projects get priority. And this isn't just limited to shelters for housing, but also rental assistance programs, services for mental and physical health, and pathways to permanent housing. And at their next meeting in May, the group will be looking at community feedback and data and then narrow down the plan into clear, attainable goals. And a car crashed right into the building of Smoke City for Less. This happened Monday right off of George Washington Way, and the building has since been boarded up, but officials say the business is still open and operating normally. The Real ID Act is set to go into effect on May 7th, which means you'll need to have a real ID to be able to board domestic flights. You can make plans to get an enhanced license now at local driver's license offices, and if you don't get it before the deadline, you'll need either your U.S. passport, military ID, your green card, or tribal ID. And the Department of Licensing had a statewide system update recently, which caused system issues at local offices, but officials tell us it's up and running today. And we have some school delays in the Yakima Valley, 2-hour delays for East Valley, West Chestnut Academy, also Union Gap, Natchez, West Valley, Sela, Heritage University, the campus in Toppenish, and the Yakima Nation Tribal School. And we will continue to update these on our app and our website. And trending now, so the winter weather probably has you dreaming about a beach trip. It does, but where is the best place to go?
Well, TripAdvisor has released its annual list of the world's best beaches. So number 1 is the Greek island of Crete.
That is surprising. I thought it'd be one of the more popular ones like Santorini or Mykonos or something like that. But second is Phuket in Thailand, and rounding out the top 3 is Aruba. And if you're looking at this list and thinking those places in this economy, well, don't worry.
In this economy? Well, that's right. If international travel is out of your reach, Siesta Key in Florida came in 4th place,
woohoo.
but it's the only U.S. beach in the top 10.
Womp womp. Well, take it with a grain of sand, because lists like this are purely subjective, and last year's rankings were vastly different. Plus, as any avid coastal enthusiast will tell you, the best beach is the one that you can get to.
And it's all about the vibe of the beach, right?
Yeah.
Like you can go to these Pacific Northwest beaches and they're
And the
very
weather might
rocky
be-
and the mountains
Exactly.
are in the background and the water is very cold. But if you go to the beaches in Texas or Alabama,
Those are
especially,
not good.
well, the ones in Alabama, white sand beaches,
better, yeah.
no mountains, very warm water in the Gulf. So,
And that's what I'm going to be thinking about while you say this last forecast for us.
yes.
Dreaming
but,
of a beach.
Hey, it is trending warmer. We could be around
Okay.
60 degrees in the Tri-Cities
the
for
beach
this weekend.
tracks.
Yes. All right. This isn't white sand beaches here. This is just white snow and Toppenish. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. It looks like this up and down the Yakima and Kittitas valleys for this morning, as we're still seeing snow in the Cascades, in the Blues, in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, and a wintry mix or freezing rain at the very least for the Lower Columbia Basin.
If you squint, it looks like sand.
Yeah, exactly. Well, temperatures this morning right around freezing across the map. Of course, a little bit colder than that in the higher elevations, but that bears a lot of relevance because the lower temperatures are lower than 32, the better chance you have of seeing some slick or slippery roadways out there. And another good reason to take it slow is the visibility is pretty lousy across the map. A little bit later today, highs up into the 30s and 40s, rain and snow likely across the map. And we still have a first alert weather day in place until 10 in the morning on Thursday for the Blues, as we could have new snow totals upwards of 10 inches for Oregon 204.
Oh goodness, closing my eyes and thinking of the beach. That is what I'm
Think
doing.
those warm docks, yes.
Thank you guys for joining us. You can always find updates on our website. That's applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Good Morning America is up next, and we'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5. Have a great day.